Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And yes guys, I know it's been a long time and I said the same thing on the last tutorial, but I don't know guys, just recently I haven't been in the mood to do drawings. And I did Ninetails, like I did this like drawing a while back, and I was looking at it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a tutorial. So as you guys can see on screen right now, we're gonna be drawing Alolan Ninetails. So if you guys like what you see, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen in just a little bit, just to make it easier on you guys, and at the same time you guys get all your details. So first of all, we're gonna start by doing the circle, which is basically gonna be the head, and then from there on we're gonna do these reference lines on the side, and then we're gonna make these like lines right here going across, and it's basically the length of the circle. So we're gonna do 3 of them, not including the actual circle. So the size right there, I'm using my finger, so that's 1. Now I do another one for 2, and then we're gonna do 1 more. So we're just gonna continue those lines on the sides. So I measure once again, so that's the circle, so 1, 2, and then 3. So right here I do another line at the bottom, but you guys are not able to see it right now on screen. The reason why is because I made it too far. In a little bit I changed that and I erased it up once I used like a paper to measure it. So I recommend using a paper or ruler just to get it exact. Alright guys, so now to actually start on the actual body, we're gonna do this line right here, which is gonna be the side of his neck. Alright, so now we're gonna do like the bottom of his chest, which we're gonna basically look for the part where it is. So right there guys, this line is basically in between those 2 lines, but the actual body is gonna start a little bit higher than that. So as we get closer to the right side, it's gonna curve up a little bit. And then we're gonna use this reference line for the actual leg, so, or the actual like neck or body, if that makes any sense. Alright guys, so now we're gonna use, so this right here I'm measuring the head, because we're gonna do another of those lines the same length to the actual side, so it's gonna be his actual body. So right here I use the paper guys just to measure, and I notice right here that the other one is a lot longer, so I changed it right here. Yeah, so I recommend you guys use a spare piece of paper. Just use the end and then just mark out where the circle is. So as you guys can see from the actual reference line going down, it's around there. So I did that line exactly on the first line of the circle that we did. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you guys in a little bit what I'm talking about. So we're just gonna continue the top of the body right there, basically his back. So this line right here guys, that's the length of the circle. So we're just gonna do a reference line going all the way to the left, meeting up to that part where we did the dot, and then we're just gonna connect it right here and just curve it. Hopefully I'm making sense, I'm really sorry. So right here, this is what I'm basically showing you, where it's basically that. Alright, so I erased some of this just because I made it a little bit messy, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys. I do change that. So now we're going to connect the bottom of his like his chest area to the back. So if you guys look at the reference, you guys will get a better idea of how it actually is. I think I curved the stomach too much, so hopefully you guys can do a better job just by looking at the actual reference. Alright, so now I just do this reference line going on the side, because this is actually gonna be his legs, or the side of his leg, that is. Alright, so now to start on the actual front legs guys, we're gonna start by doing this left one. So just try to get it like a okay thickness, which is gonna continue that, and it gets thicker as it goes up. And then we're gonna do the other one on the other side, or like the inside of the other one. I do change the thickness of the other leg that I just did in a little bit, just because it doesn't meet up. Right here I was just pointing out that those 2 legs should basically be the same thickness. So this is where I noticed that I didn't do it thick enough. So because it has to meet up with the body right there where the chest is, it has to curve down. So as long as you guys get that side, then you guys could do this the left leg. So right here I just connect them a little bit more and just try to make those 2 legs the same thickness, and then it just gets wider as it goes higher. So yeah guys, hopefully just by looking at it, it makes sense. I'm really sorry if I'm talking too much. Alright, so now that we have that, we're gonna start by doing the snout. So right there where the neck connects, we're just gonna do a straight line going to the left. I erased it just a little bit because I did like a triangle shape for the actual snout. When it's not, I erased the top line because it actually, like on the point, it goes up a little bit, as you guys see me doing here. It goes up and then it goes back and it meets up with the circle. So it's not a triangle, it's actually like a sharp edge at the front. And it might take you guys a couple tries to get the right size of the snout, but as long as it looks okay, then you guys can keep it. So now for the ear. So the ear is basically the same length as the snout, so that's something you guys can base it out of. And it's basically this triangle shape. Right there I'm doing like the inside. And just by having that, we're starting to see the actual shape of a dog. Right there I do the mouth. It's not necessary, guys. And then right here I just do the nose. Now I start by doing the eye. So the eye starts where the snout attaches to the circle, and then it goes as far as where the ear starts. And then right here I don't do it right, so later on I do change it. But I always have trouble doing eyes, so I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to do it exactly like the reference. So hopefully you guys, by just looking at the reference, you'll be able to draw it a lot better than I did. So this line right there, one of those lines that we did, like the length of it, so in the middle between the one on his knees and his feet, we're just gonna continue that line to the left. And then right at the bottom of his like chest, we're gonna do another line, and this line is basically gonna help us know where to actually curve this hind leg. And I won't lie, guys, I really had a hard time doing these back legs. Just the shape of them just gave me so much trouble. I don't know exactly how to explain how to draw them, so just try your best. Try to follow me or just look at the reference. You guys might be able to draw it just by looking at the reference. I know a lot of you guys let me know in the comment section saying that it's easier for you guys just by looking at the reference and actually following the way I do it. So that's one of those reasons that I do put it up there, guys, just to make it even more easier for you. So another thing that I wanted to mention was try to do these back legs the same thickness as the ones in the front, although this should be a little bit thinner just because they are further away. Yeah, so I do have trouble here, guys. So I gotta say, this is one of the hardest parts of doing Alolan Ninetails, just because it's I don't know, it's really complicated, at least for me, guys. Maybe for some of you guys are gonna get it on the first try, but for me it took me a couple tries. And I don't know, if I wasn't doing a tutorial and I wasn't recording myself, I think it would have took me a lot more. I would have done a lot more, like worked on it a little bit better just to make it look a little bit better. But since I knew I was recording myself, I don't want to like make the video even longer, you know, or just make it a lot confusing. So I just left it like that, guys. But I recommend that you guys just keep working on it until you're happy with it. This other leg, this one once again, it should be a little bit thinner than all the other three just because it's even further away than the rest. So now for the actual like paws. Once again, I would look at the reference just because I don't know how to explain how to do them, and I don't think I did a good job on them, so I'm not even gonna like tell you guys how to draw it just because I'm not happy with them. So just try your best, guys. And these front legs are actually a little bit longer than the other ones. If you guys look at the reference, his front paws are a little bit lower than the other ones. So that's something that you guys might want to do, or you guys could just have it like me where there's not like much of a difference. There we go, guys. So just by doing the legs, it just gives us that like shape of a dog. So the rest is gonna be a little bit easier. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but it's gonna be a lot easier just because we got the main shape, which is a dog or a fox. I think Ninetails is a fox. So basically we got the main body. So now from here on, it's just by adding the hair and the tail and all the small details. So just by having this, I think we're pretty much set. So now that we have that, guys, we're gonna start by doing the like chest area, the hair on his chest. So it starts right there in the middle. And then I do the middle one just so I can know exactly where it is. And then I start at the top just so I can know where it's gonna meet up. So I'm just following that line that we did on the side, like on the reference line, just because I know that that's where it is. So we can just use that to do all this, like all these like curves and everything. So right here it has these like two fluffs, which comes out of the body a little bit, and then it goes like back in. So I do erase some of these lines just so it's not that confusing, because it just looks really messy. So I'm really sorry, but hopefully just by erasing some of these lines, it looks a little bit better and it makes more sense, and you guys are able to make the shapes a little bit better. Once again, like, the reference is there, guys. I put it there for a reason. I don't know, guys, just look at the reference for all these. Just, I don't know how to explain it. So right here for the top of his hair, I noticed that it doesn't go higher than his ear, the tip of his ear, so it's at the same level. And it doesn't go, as I point out right there, and it doesn't go further than the snout. So just by knowing that, looking at the reference, I know where to place the front of his hair right there on top of his head. Dun, 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 dun. That's one of my favorite parts of the song. Alright, so now for doing like these like hairs, I can't explain how to do them, so just either follow mine, guys, or just look at the reference just so you guys can basically get an idea of how to do them. But I'm not gonna talk through this just because I don't know how to explain it. Right there, I just noticed that it gets pretty close to the other lines, so there's some areas that are like thicker than others. So that's one of those things that I look at when I'm actually doing the hair. Then I noticed that this one starts a little bit higher than his eye, so that's something that I like base it out of. I believe I changed this line. I make it a little bit lower. So I just know that it doesn't go higher than the top of his head. So then I erase it and I start all over. So I start right there just because I know it gets pretty close to that line, so that's why I did that small line. And then I just like basically follow the same shape of the line at the bottom, and then I just connect them. Dun, 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 dun. So right here I noticed that I did mine a little bit too thin, because once I do this line I noticed that it just doesn't like look right. So I erase it and then I make it a little bit thicker, this line, so I extend it even more before it curves back to the left. So I don't think anybody's gonna get it exactly like the reference, like all these lines on the right spot. It's not gonna be perfect, so it's okay, guys, if you guys just do these lines. As long as you guys are okay with it, as long as you guys are happy, then you guys could change any of these lines for the hair. It doesn't have to be exactly like the reference. Remember, this is your drawing that you're doing, so any changes that you guys might want to make, feel free to do them. See, like right here, it doesn't look anything like the reference, but it's alright. Let me know, guys, in the comment section how it's going so far. Let me know if the tutorial is okay. I'm not saying it's gonna be 100% helpful. For some of you guys, it might be easier than others. But let me know in the comment section how it is going so far. So pause the video and let me know. Alright, so right here I started the line of one of the tails, but by looking at the reference, I noticed that there's like a better way that I could do them, just by doing like a rough shape of the actual tail. So this is where I noticed I actually turn off the camera just so I could like get a better idea of it and study it, and then I come up with this line right here. So we're gonna start it off around here, and then it ends basically like in between right here in the forehead. And it doesn't go higher than the head, so we're just gonna like do it at that same level and just extend it like this and kind of make this like circle shape. So just by having that, guys, is gonna save us and you guys a lot of time on doing the tail, just because if you guys do line by line, it might be like too far away. Some of the tails are not gonna meet up right. So just by having a rough shape like that that we could follow, it's just gonna make it a lot easier. And right here, just by looking at it, kind of saw that this part of the tail looks like an oval shape, so I just basically make an oval shape, and it just helps me do the shape a little bit better. So if whatever helps you guys. And then just by erasing the line in a little bit, it's not gonna look so weird. So this one goes over that leg, and then it just continues down, and then it just connects to that oval shape that we did, or that I did if you guys didn't do it. And then I just erase some of these lines that connected, and now it doesn't look that weird. And also these the lines for the circle that we did. Now for another one right here, it basically follows the shape of the circle that we did, so just try to follow it, guys. This one's like the one all the way on top, so it starts around here, I gotta say, like right where the top of the head is, and same level that is, guys. I'm sorry. And then it just connects to around where like the snout meets the circle. I also have a tutorial on Alolan Ninetails, so if you guys haven't seen it, make sure to go check it out. I think it's a lot better than this tutorial, just because Alolan Ninetails is a lot smaller and a lot easier than this one. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I'm saying that it's easier than this one, just because Ninetails has like so much going on and it's a little bit more complicated. But make sure to go check it out just so you guys can draw the pair. So I'm really glad that I did that reference circle, guys, for the tail. It just made doing these tails sticking out a lot easier. Now we could just erase the circle that we did, some of these reference lines where the tails don't connect. So I recommend looking at the reference just so you guys can know what lines to erase or what lines to do. So just by erasing all these lines, guys, that are not supposed to be there, just cleans up the drawing a little bit and just makes it look a lot better. So I recommend you guys just cleaning your drawing as we go. That way it's not that confusing and it just turns out a little bit better. So I erased that one, but I remember that's his stomach, so I need to put it back on there. Can't have a Ninetails without a stomach, right? So we just got one more tail to do. Oh no, actually we need to do the ones on the bottom by his leg. So this is the last one that we do on top. Dun, dun, I'm sorry. So right there I'm just doing this tail, and if you guys notice I went over the leg. And the reason I do that is just so I can know that it's gonna meet out or meet up in the other side, like okay, it's not gonna look weird. So that's something that you guys are gonna see me doing, especially right here on these legs. So I go over and then I just basically draw the tail like if the legs weren't there, and then I could just erase the lines going through the legs or on the legs, and I know that the tail on the back is gonna meet up okay and it's not gonna look weird. So now to do the toes, he just has 2 lines for 3 toes, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail with those. And I gotta say we're pretty much done, guys. The only thing that I would change is just his forehead, the shape of it, because on mine I make it too straight. And on the reference it kind of has like the sharp turn right here, so right there it just, I don't know, guys, like if I could go back and change something, it would be that. Like honestly I would restart the whole drawing just because I think I could have done a better job, but I didn't want to go back and take the whole time just to do that when I think that the drawing is okay. So alright, so now to do these lines sticking out of the body, guys, so basically these are following the same shape as the tails. So right here I'm just using the tails as a reference to see basically where they would curve and where they would connect to do these lines. So I recommend that you guys do that. Just follow the same shape. And we're pretty much done, guys. So I do end up outlining my drawing or my sketch. I'm gonna call it a sketch because for me it's a sketch, guys. With my, what are they called? I forgot what they're called, but it's basically a marker. You guys could use a pen or you guys could just leave it in pencil. It's up to you guys from here on. But now that you guys got your like sketch, I'm gonna call it, like I said, a sketch. You guys can make any changes to your drawing. Like I said, something that I would change is basically his forehead, but I was happy enough that I with the drawing that I left it like that. But if I had the time, if I wasn't doing a video tutorial, I think I would have gone back and just made all these lines a lot better. Just by looking at the reference, I would have took my time just to like make it a lot better. So I recommend you guys doing that. And then right here, guys, once the ink dried, I used an eraser just to erase all the pencil, and then I just used my Copics to color him. So he's basically 2 different colors, so I just used the lightest blues that I had. And yeah, so something that I would change is just his forehead. If you guys look at the shape of his forehead or his face, mine looks too thin, like it just doesn't look right. I didn't curve the forehead enough. It's basically a straight line, so it completely changes Ninetales. So if I could go back and change something, I would change that, because on mine right here it looks more of a fox than it does. I know he's a fox, guys, but you guys know what I'm talking about. On the reference, the shape of his face is more like a dog fox, and on mine it's just too flat. So if I could go back, I would change that. So just make sure that you're happy with the shape of his face before you guys go over it with pen or just color him. And I think that's it, guys. So let me know in the comment section if this tutorial was helpful. Let me know in the comment section if you guys did end up drawing Ninetales. I would love to know how many people actually got this far. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos. If you guys want to send in your drawings to be featured at the beginning of my next videos, make sure to send them in. The links will be in the description to my email and my Twitter. So those are the best spots where you guys can send them in. And yeah guys, I just want to thank you guys for following my tutorial. If it wasn't helpful or you're not happy with it, you guys could either try another day or later, take a break and then try it again, or maybe there's a better tutorial out there that's easier for you. So yeah guys, so I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.